But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
How is Crawford, his composure going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
You kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford. He's
But in weight classes,
the most composed guy. What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No.
I think Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez.
I think he's too small. But then again, I thought he was too small for Spence, so shows what I know.
Fighters are analyzing why Canelo Alvarez is expected to dominate Terence Crawford, with boxing legend Mike Tyson expressing serious doubts about the matchup. Tyson has voiced concerns over Crawford's chances, warning that this fight may not be in his best interest. He believes Canelo's size, power, and relentless pressure present a dangerous challenge, one that could be too much for Crawford to handle.
Mike, I gotta say this. Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. It's just that he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
You posted the other day, there's a picture of you in a Rolls Royce, and you said that the quote is, "I can't remember how many of these I gave away." Tell me about that.
Yes, I don't know. Yes, when we used to have money, it's had one hammer. You know, you're not accustomed to that shit, man.
Yeah, but not everybody's Mike Tyson. You're very generous. You're a genuine, nice person. Tillman told me that one time you lent him his car, he kept it for like 3 months or something.
I don't know, but this shit. Listen, if you have money and you can't help nobody, but it was the person that's happening.
David Benavidez sees Canelo Alvarez as a source of motivation and views the upcoming fight between Canelo and Crawford as a commendable matchup. His respect for Canelo's skills and accomplishments in the ring highlights his positive outlook on the bout.
It's like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
All right, next question.
Do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's like, you know.
I definitely do use that as motivation because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting.
Ryan Garcia highlights Canelo Alvarez's physical advantages, emphasizing his strength, size, and power. He argues that these attributes give Canelo a significant edge over Terence Crawford, who is moving up in weight. Garcia believes the weight difference will be a major challenge for Crawford, making it difficult for him to overcome Canelo's physicality.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fight, too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Last question, he said Teofimo and Boots are going to be on your October undercard.
Oh, yeah,
and the winners would fight each other.
I didn't know that, but I'm down. I don't care. Let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo too.
Last one, I gotta do this. I agree with you that there's just like there's a lot of sanctioned bodies, there's a lot of promoters, there's be more testing organizations, not just one. Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about that?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like, why can't I use another organization, you know? But again, I don't want to talk about them because, you know, they might sue.
Sean Porter has voiced concerns about how Terence Crawford will handle Canelo Alvarez's punching power, given Canelo's reputation for delivering devastating blows. Porter questions whether Crawford can withstand such force, especially with the jump in weight classes. His concerns echo the broader apprehension about Crawford's ability to endure the physical demands of facing a naturally larger opponent.
the others say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's gonna be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So
Mikey Garcia predicts a Canelo Alvarez victory, citing his size and power advantages as key factors. He believes these attributes will play a crucial role in determining the outcome, with Canelo's physicality being a decisive element in the matchup.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. There are too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, you know, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154. And he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160. Yeah, Canelo ain't gonna come down, you know, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, the power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish from 140, 147, now 154. That's even greater for him. If he wants to do something, collect belts at 154, he can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to the Canelo fight, and Canelo is trying to find other guys, and you know, at that point it's more of a big fight, you know, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Beterbiev or Revolt again. If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again and challenge himself against those guys. Not a smaller guy moving up.
Roy Jones Jr. has praised Canelo Alvarez's abilities while recognizing Terence Crawford's desire to challenge himself against the best. He suggests that if Crawford struggles to overcome Canelo, it could mark a significant turning point in his career, given Canelo's status as one of the sport's top fighters.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, you know, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, you know, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What do you got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight better beat this nigga. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
And that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
Robert Garcia has analyzed the fight and leans toward a Canelo Alvarez victory. While he hasn't provided a detailed breakdown, his assessment aligns with the majority opinion, likely factoring in Canelo's size, power, and experience at higher weight classes. Garcia also believes that if Terence Crawford takes this fight, it will be primarily for the massive payday, as he has already secured his future and lives a responsible life. However, if the fight happens, Garcia expects Crawford to put up a competitive effort for the first 6 to 8 rounds before Canelo takes control. He acknowledges Crawford's skill and strength, but ultimately sees Canelo's power and size overwhelming him in the later rounds. While Crawford may win some early rounds, Garcia predicts that Canelo will dominate as the fight progresses.
Robert, what's a smart bet on Crawford-Canelo? Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision. If you have to bet,
yes.
I said Canelo by decision.
Crawford by decision.
No, but you said Canelo by knockout or Canelo?
Yeah, no, because I'm saying that's what's gonna happen. Canelo's gonna beat him. But which one?
No, man. Crawford is fucking exaggerated. I've always been saying, I think Canelo at the end, obviously his strength, his weight,
experience
probably takes over. But shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
He's probably gonna be 40 to 1 underdog or something crazy like that, right? It's not gonna be close.
Oh, it's gonna be close.
3 weight cuts?
3 4 to 1. No crees?
Nah.
It's not gonna be that big of a difference. No.
When you pick the knockout? No, when you pick the knockout?
But if it's just
who wins straight out?
I think it's gonna be maybe 3 to 1, 4 to 1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 2 to 1.
Maybe I don't think so. So they finally announced Ryu's fight. Gary Russell. What do you think? Not easy fight. No easy fights in this level. It's gonna be finally. You guys will be the first time you ever go on a Tank fight, right? To work a corner.
We're gonna corner a Tank's fight.
Is Tank's the main event?
Promoter Eddie Hearn is skeptical about Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez, citing the significant weight difference as a major concern. He finds it remarkable that Crawford is taking on such a challenge, suggesting that the physical disparity may simply be too much to overcome.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Gervonta Tank Davis has praised Canelo Alvarez, calling him one of the top boxers of this era and a great fighter. While he hasn't directly predicted the fight's outcome, his admiration for Canelo highlights the respect Alvarez commands within the boxing community.
Canelo is one of the top dogs in the sport as of right now, and he's a great fighter himself, so just having somebody like him to say I'm his favorite fighter is pretty, like, touchy. I think I'm the face of boxing already, if we being real. I think I'm the face of boxing right now. I think that Canelo going out the door, all the top guys, Canelo probably the only one, but he's going out the door, so.
Teddy Atlas praises Canelo Alvarez, highlighting his size, strength, and power as key advantages. As a unified champion with an impressive resume, Canelo presents a formidable challenge. However, Atlas also raises the question of whether Canelo can handle a smaller, faster, and more defensive fighter. Speed, agility, and movement could be crucial factors in this fight, as Canelo has shown moments of slowing down, especially with age. His opponent's slick footwork and defensive skills might create difficulties for him. With both fighters aging, their contrasting styles and strengths will shape the outcome, making experience, strategy, and adaptability major factors in this matchup.
Not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Matt Rudolph, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Matt Rudolph was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. But when you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.
Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith has weighed in on the matchup, acknowledging Terence Crawford's skill, but expressing concern about his ability to hurt Canelo Alvarez. Smith believes that if Crawford cannot land impactful punches, Canelo will apply relentless pressure, using his power advantage to dominate the fight.
But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. If Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he can stay away. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, he can't keep him off him. And that's where the problem lies.
What do you think a win like that would do for Crawford? Would that put him
I
up
think it was
Robinson, Mayweather?
He and I spoke about it. He and I spoke about it in Vegas when the UFC event was at the Sphere. It's a fight he wants desperately, he wants badly. He says it's a legacy fight. He thinks about Tommy Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and others moving up in weight. And he believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult has expressed doubts about Terence Crawford's ability to absorb Canelo Alvarez's punches. He believes the power disparity could be a critical factor, with Crawford potentially struggling to withstand Canelo's heavy blows. Crawford's decision to move up 3 weight classes to face Canelo has raised concerns among many boxing professionals. Many believe that skipping multiple divisions to fight the biggest fighter in the super middleweight class is a risky move, potentially putting Crawford at a significant disadvantage due to the considerable weight jump and the challenges it brings.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on solo Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him test himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the boardroom can get behind.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see.
Tim Bradley offers a more optimistic perspective, acknowledging Canelo Alvarez's size, but believing that Terence Crawford's skills could give him the edge. Bradley suggests that Crawford's technical prowess and strategic approach could counterbalance the size difference, providing him with a legitimate chance to win, contrary to many opinions that favor Canelo.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in his next 2 fights where he's still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. If he's trying to chase the greatness. But he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened. Next.
Alexander Usyk offers a different perspective, acknowledging the widespread belief in Canelo Alvarez's impending victory, but arguing that Terence Crawford's intelligence and ring savvy could lead him to success. Usyk believes that despite Canelo's size, Crawford's smart fighting style provides him with a viable path to victory. The Canelo versus Crawford fight is expected to bring back the excitement of boxing's golden era. Fans and analysts alike are eager to see a matchup that harkens back to a time when top fighters faced each other, regardless of weight class differences. This bout is viewed as a throwback to an era when skill and bravery defined the sport, generating widespread enthusiasm.
A potential fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford. How do you see that fight? Who do you
like Terence. It's
wow.
my friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo.
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence is different man. Terence work in две стойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
And
Right.
switch hitter.
Yes.
Switch
Yes.
hitter.
Yes.
Right and left. But it's very smart man. It's very smart. But feel distance and place.
Adjustments.
Spacing,
Exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why. That's why I'm asking. Exactly.
Canelo big. Yeah, Canelo too. It's a good boxer. But I say Terence.
Wow.
Kezin Davis shared his thoughts on the fight, stating that Canelo Alvarez has had his time and possesses the ability to adapt to any style, which has contributed to his greatness. Davis's comments highlight Canelo's versatility and experience, suggesting these attributes make him a formidable opponent for Terence Crawford. While many emphasize Canelo's size and power advantages, others point to Crawford's skill and intelligence as potential equalizers in the matchup.
He's gonna be the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Floyd, it was Floyd, and then he's gonna be Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what's on the line with that fight, right? Canelo and Terence is whose era is it? Right?
Nah.
I think Canelo had his time.
Yeah, Canelo had his
our
time. Yeah.
This goes to mid our time.
Yeah, for sure.
What is going on such a great trade?
He can adapt to any style, bro. Like, he can adapt to any style. First of all, DB3, we all got different styles. And he all been making this better in our own style. He got Troy Eisen. Troy Eisen is a different style. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he got Avius Griffin. Avius Griffin is a different style. Of course, y'all know Jamel Herring and Terence Crawford. All different styles. And he make these fighters great. He can adapt to any style. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes him a
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned and see you next time.